Welcome back, everybody, to Grand Tactician, Civil War, Grandpa Gaming, and this is episode 25 of our year only Summer 61 Federal campaign. So, last episode, we didn't have much happen. We just basically had two skirmishes, once again at Washington, D.C., as the rebels keep lemming training towards it. I don't know what is going on in this sector, but it seems like as soon as any of their armies are ready to go, they try to push past Washington. They're not even trying to, it doesn't even look like they're trying to make contact with the corps that's there, but crossing the bridges forces them to make contact with it. So I think they're trying to get around the corps, but they're just not looking to fight the corps. It's kind of weird. I honestly have no idea what's going on over there. Army East is still up here at Winchester, and they're at full readiness, but I cannot move them yet. I'm still waiting for the completion of the new fort here at Akai Landing. It's going another 28 days away from completion, so I'm hoping to have... So once that's done there, which will be mid-August, it looks like, move them over to Winchester, start building a fortification here, and push the Army of the East up the valley down to Stanton. Try to get this sector of Virginia shut down. The Army of the Ohio is still halfway through yellow readiness on their movement. So they're going to be here for a little bit longer. I'm not sure how much longer. I'm hoping to get them pushed down to Salem, possibly Lynchburg. That's going to kind of draw them away from where I really want them, but it will relieve pressure from Washington, D.C. So we might be able to shut down Virginia this summer campaign, Not sure, but we're going to try. Now I'm going to say summer campaign because it's going to be more of a fall campaign. Army Mississippi is still hanging tight up here at Covington because we do have Hardee's Corps somewhere in the area. And the Army of Tennessee is still hanging tight at St. Louis, as Longstreet's Corps Army of Illinois is still hanging out at Rolla. And it looks like the Indian Army is on its way to join them. Originally, I thought they were heading up towards St. Joseph, but then they tracked back over towards the Army of Illinois. And it looks like the Western Army might be joining them. I'm hoping this is what happens. They all link up here and make another push at St. Louis. The Army's going to be heavily outnumbered, but it will give me a chance to slip the Independent Cavalry Corps down into Indian territory and take down the Fort of Muskogee. We're not going to even try to take Fort Smith or Carrollton with that force. It's just too small. And with our fleets, this way. The East Coast Squadron, which is my bombardment squadron, is repairing. They're going to be here in repairs for a while. Plus, one more is actually in dry dock completely, as it's down to 40% readiness. Once we're back up to 90% readiness, actually, I should pull out the Potomac and the Sabine, just have them dry dock completely. There's just 3 ships in this fleet, but I do want to make an attempt to take Fortress Monroe, as the rebel fleet's no longer out in the water, but they are here. They're here somewhere. We didn't sink it. It's here somewhere. But I think we may have a chance to take Fortress Monroe back. I'm going to make the attempt. And with the other blockading fleet, come on. None of them are ready to go right now. As you can see, they're all grayed out. But we should be able to put them back in the water, even at 68%, 74%. This is the blockading fleet, so it doesn't matter what their readiness really is as long as they're in the water and blockading. So actually, I'm going to give them orders to move back into the water. They're at yellow readiness, but that should be fine. All right, there's nothing for a historical record this episode. There's nothing much really happened last episode, so I'll be back with the next incident. All right, it's now July 24th. We do have our next engagement at St. Louis with Pike's Indian Army, which is 6,266 cavalry and mounted riflemen, going up against the Army of Tennessee. I'm not exactly sure what he's thinking with the numbers disparity. Unless they're just trying to drag our readiness down. Huh. Kind of odd. It is going to give us an opportunity to move the Independent Cavalry Corps. All right, let's jump in there and kick these boys back at them in Azor. Welcome, my grunts, to the second battle of St. Louis. So we are on the Copperton map, and we are defending back here at the Wood Farm. As you can see, I already have this troop set up here. Very simple formation, as we only have a division, brigade, a cavalry, brigade of engineers, and a battery of artillery. So very simple setup here. And the rebels are coming in from over here. Now, they are all mounted, so they should arrive very quickly. And it's 12 o'clock right now. They should be here by 1 or 2 in the afternoon. They don't necessarily have the numbers to fight us, but 2 of the infantry brigades are in. They're stable to breaking morale because they did break at the last battle. This is this unit's second battle, and they haven't really fully recovered from the shock of the last fight. So, straightforward defense with just the engineers back here doing engineers thing, getting their levels up. So, I'll be back once we have contact with the rebels. All right, it's now 13:30. We do have the first rebels sighted, and it is the 1st Cherokee Mounted Rifles. You're coming right in at us, heading towards Lincoln Valkyries and the Freedom Fighters. Ooh, Molly Pitcher's got a level up. And we have the 2nd Cherokee coming in right behind them.
Quiet in the ranks. Sergeant, any word from the commander? Quiet in the ranks.
And the 1st Choctaw Chickasaw.
Keep up the fire. Never mind the wounded. Keep firing.
These guys should be rifle mounted, so I don't understand why they're riding in the way they are. Not even firing.
Shoot the one on that horse.
All right, this should be all of them pushing onto the field right here. What I don't understand is why they're not firing back. It's kind of odd. Blue Storm, prepare to counter them. Disband with their flank in the open. Hit them. Alright, so let's get up here before you miss out on fun. Oh shit, they glitched out. Get out of there, they glitched. See all these casualties we're taking? This unit's glitched out and we're caught in them. Crap. There they go. That cavalry retreat glitch is a pain in the ass. Break contact, damn it. Alright, we're gonna lose the blue storm to that glitch. Speed this along a bit. Over 700 casualties in the blue storm because of a glitched out unit. You gotta be kidding me. That is just annoying as all hell. All right, lost 115 of our 10,964 infantry, 723 of our 2,299 cavalry. Losing over 700 men to a glitched out unit just... Oh, that pisses me off so bad. We didn't lose any guns. Total loss of 838 of our 13,482 men. That 723 men's a big hit. As Longstreet's corps plussing up in the numbers, and we do have to worry about that. And we took down 700 of their 6,500 men. So we lost more men because of this glitch. You gotta be kidding me. All right, after action reports. Blue Storm Brigade did 63 cavalry. Freedom Engineers were not in the fight. Liberty Legion, Freedom Fighters did 279 cavalry. Suffrage Brigade did 37. Lincoln's Valkyries did 277. Losses, Freedom Fighters 12 dead, 82 wounded, 20 missing, total 114. Aggregate strength 2,550, 4% casualties. First Suffrage lost nobody. And Lincoln's Valkyrie had 1 man wounded. 115 total for the division. And Blue Storms, we know how much they had. 505 wounded, 84 missing, 134 dead. 31% casualties for that brigade. And that's a massive hit to our force. Considering how small we are, that is a massive hit. And the Mali Pitchers did 29. Okay. I can close that here, and I'll see you all at the newspaper screen. Victory at the Second Battle of St. Louis. Indian Army fleeing in panic. General Taylor lost face from that fight. So does Colonel Jumper. So Taylor's probably going to have to go. All right. Battle of St. Louis has ended with the Indian Army retreating in panic and suffered total casualties of 719 men. They have 101 killed and 118 captured. Our casualties still 838 men, 146 dead, 104 missing, and the rest wounded. Captured 285 rifles from the field and sent 112 soldiers off to our vacation camp. See, that's something I really have to worry about as... Now, Longstreet still had 17,000, but it still leaves them bigger than us. The Army of Illinois altogether is now at 50,000. They were at 47,000 2 days ago. So they are plussing up. I'm not sure where the other corps is, though, because the Western Army is not part of that army. But it does give us the opportunity I was looking for. So we're going to push down. And I'm not sure they're going to be able to do it or not, but I'm going to try and take Fort Gibson. Everything else looks a little quiet for now. Unless Beauregard's on the move again. Somebody's on the move. Department of Western Florida. You guys moving set? Where you get? Okay. I have no idea what the hell they're doing right now. Looks like they're marching back and forth, creating industrials for us. Cavalry's on the move down the river towards Independence. Still be a while before they reach Muskogee. So I'll be back. All right, it's now July 27th. I'm coming in with a bit of a map update here. The Independent Cavalry Corps is now making its way through Kansas. And I'm actually going to have them stop at the Tahlequah Indian Village before they hit the fort at Muskogee, build themselves a supply depot, as they are in a supply deficit area. So before we begin that siege, I'm going to have them build a depot here before that siege begins. I'm also pushing the Army of the Tennessee down the Rolla, where Longstreet's corps was hiding out. Yep, did lose sight of them. There they are now. And I've also begun moving the Army of the Mississippi down toward the Harrodsburg, where last time I spotted the rebel corps there. Army of Ohio is still not ready to move yet. It's taking forever to get their readiness back up. But I believe we're going to start pushing them at Lynchburg. It's going to draw them away from where I really want them. But it should relieve pressure off of Washington, I'm hoping. Nah, I got to wait till they're full green. Going through these mountains here is... It takes forever for an army to move through this terrain here. So I do have to wait on that. And here's our next engagement. All right, Army of Tennessee under Daywood, bringing 10,925 infantry, 1,596 cavalry, and 15 guns, going up against the Army of Illinois under command of Edward Johnson and Longstreet's corps, bringing 16,282 infantry, 962 cavalry, and 17 guns. This is federal territory. Their readiness should not be good. Their morale should not be too high. So hopefully we can pull this one off. Welcome, my grunts, to the Battle of Rolla. We are on the Pine Mountain map, and we are attacking. The rebels are defending at Mount Riddle Church on the western side of the map, and we are coming in from over here at the east. Both our forces are completely on the field. There's really just no good way of cracking this nut. Where they are defending, even though the church is down here in kind of a bowl, you know, I would be set up defensively along the heights here, and that's probably how the rebels are going to be set up too. So what we're going to do is move the infantry down here into Deweyville, and I'm going to have the cavalry climb the mountain over here through the clear path through the woods over here and up the mountainside. There's just no good way of coming at this. But very straightforward attack. I don't have the extra maneuver elements that I normally would have with this force. So it's 3:30 in the morning. So there's a pre-dawn start to this fight. So I'm going to get these troops on the move, and it's going to be a while for in position. They got to come down around this way or up and around. I'm probably going to send everybody up and around. I think that's an easier path. Maybe? Probably not, no. Yeah, this is just all mountainous. It's just going to take a while to get anybody anywhere on this map. So I'll be back once we have the sighting on the rebels at the least. All right, it's now 5:40 in the morning, and we do have the rebels sighted, and they're actually in a fairly strong defensive position here. Actually, a really good defensive position. Actually, kind of placed themselves where I would have placed myself. And kind of makes me wish I'd taken the southern approach because that would have put us behind their entrenchments. Instead, we arrived in front of them. And amazingly, during this march, my artillery actually got ahead of the infantry, even though they set out last. They got ahead of it all. Amazingly. It's actually not too bad of a thing. I don't see their guns. There they are. Oh, they're behind the line. Interesting. We do have rebels on the heights over here out in the woods. So, yeah, we're not going to go fight our way through that. Not with our forces. We're not going to be able to push through this. So we're going up and over. Going to be a while still. I do have this running at 5 times, and it's still taking a while for our forces to get up and over here. So I'm going to let my troops rest in place for probably about an hour or two in game, and then start moving them up and over the mountainside. Hopefully the rebels don't react. They do. Hopefully we'll have a height advantage. Because that is just not something I'm going to attack right there. That is... no. That's no. Even the engineers got here ahead of the infantry. What the hell is going on, Shaw? Get your men moving your head out of your ass. Like I said, I'm going to wait. Once these guys are in position, I'll wait an hour or two in game because it's still early morning. And we'll get them on the move again. All right, it's now 10:30 in the morning, and we have secured the objective with the Blue Storm Brigade at Mount Riddle Church. I'm now moving them down the road to take a blocking position here, and the Freedmen engineers are on their way to support them. I'm still kind of waiting for the Liberty Legion to get in position here, but it is what it is. So what we're going to do now is move the Liberty Legion along these heights here on the outskirts of the woods where the rebels are. The Molly pitchers have been firing away, but not with much effect. They're firing over the hilltop and down into here, and they are 10-pound power rifles, so they're not really able to lob shells in the way a howitzer would. I'm actually going to order these brigades individually. Yep, looks... I think I just heard a bugle order go out. I expected to have the Legion in place already while the cavalry and the Freedmen engineers moved into position.
A little more to the right.
Really have not reacted to me taking the objective yet. Showing us in a minor victory. But their morale's still at 46. We're at 52. Our morale can drop really fast, especially if the Blue Storm breaks, because they are not in good condition. Kind of need to move Daywood closer to them. So the area I would have used for a defense earlier is now turning into an attack. Actually, we still kind of have this in the defense now that we hold the objective. They do have to come at us. And hopefully this negates their artillery since they are back in the woods here.
Save your water for when the shooting starts.
These are brand new formations over here. They are full strength. 2200, 2200. These are brand new formations.
Save your water for when the shooting starts.
I was really hoping they would do was start moving their men out of the woods back towards Mount Riddle Church so that we could hit them in the flank with my infantry. Doesn't look like that's going to happen, though. I'm going to fire over them from up here. We'll see.
Keep the cadence, damn you. Quiet in the ranks.
Where's your cohesion? Such a mess.
Quiet in the ranks. Quiet.
It's time to kick this shindig off.
Keep your head, and you'll get out alive. Any time now, man. Quiet in the ranks. Keep up, men. Quiet in the ranks. Don't stop for the wounded. Keep moving. Don't stop for the wounded. Keep moving. Keep moving. Don't stop to reload.
Oh, there's no way in hell we just lost sight of them. No way in hell. They're shifting their formation while lying on the ground. That's a new one for me. Boys, when you can maneuver, so I can shift your position again. Yep, there goes Trimble's brigade. A little surprised by that. They broke pretty quickly. We'll let these boys keep falling back and then readjust my lines into the woods.
Keep them clean. Fill that gap, Private. Worst. Don't aim, just shoot and move. Don't aim, just shoot and move.
And then pull up the rear. I really expected them to come crowding out towards the objective. They still have not done that. They haven't shifted positions at all. Not even reacting to this attack. I had my hopes up when I saw them set up in this defensive position. I really had my hopes up. Keep you boys facing on that road, just in case. Bring the artillery down here also. So they have an open field to fire into because they're going to be no good in the woods here.
Don't stop for the wounded. Keep moving. Don't stop for the wounded. Keep moving. On me.
Yep, they are reacting now.
More to the left.
They are sending everything down the road. Jeez. All right, first over, change of plans for you. Give them all orders. aren't you firing at them, damn it? They have the Tigers in this formation. What the hell are they doing out here in the west? And Blue Storm broke. Engineers double. They broke and glitched. That's that artillery. Jets, move it. It's a good thing my cavalry getting glitched out like the rebels always do to mine. So it's keeping these units locked in place. That's helping me out right now. Break that brigade and get past them. Crap, we finally unglitched. And Valkyrie's pushing up over here. Green fires come up this way. Shaw, get those orders out, damn it. Did he not issue the orders to this brigade? Oh, okay, what I got clicked on. Ah. nice shock to the Tigers right here. Hang in there, engineers. I did not give you oh, they're targeting Tigers. Stay right there. Do not move. Engineers are about to go. Oh, don't run back to the cavalry. Shit. And there goes the engineers. Push forward, get online. Need you boys out of those woods. I'd say break the second MSG, please. There we go. This bow can go either direction right now. I relied a little too heavily on the Blue Storms considering their morale issue. First suffrage. Pushing on the batteries. We can break them. This battle will be ours.
Never mind the wounded. Keep firing. Keep up, man. Take that, bud.
Where are those batteries? Got infantry bearing down on you. Come on, reform, damn it. Shifting back in our direction just a little bit. We break these batteries. Every unit breaks their morale. Here, you boys are winded. This battle hinges on your ass. Keep pushing. Move against Texas. They're the next ones to go. Units off my flank reform and come at us. Looks like they are withdrawing. Get in on them. Make those Texas mamas howl this week. Get rid of those batteries. I don't know how the hell they're still alive. Storm is kind of reformed. Didn't take too many casualties from the break. That's where we're taking those casualties from, these boys. How are these batteries not taking casualties? But not really. And they're not detachments. Come on, Sufford, reform. There we go. Ooh. Ready to go. I don't want to move that cavalry because I know there's a unit over here. There they are. They're in retreat, but they're not actually withdrawing. This is just one bloody fight. Don't know where that Texas brigade went off to in at this moment, so now firing at us. We'll have to sacrifice our freedom fighters, the freedmen engineers kind of did this for us, and there goes our cavalry again. Kind of knew that was going to happen. Somebody's going to break that unit. Ugh, what a rough fight. That was fun, though. That was a battle of maneuver, and it was fun. And I kind of get the feeling, even though I didn't have to attack the rebels, because we did take the objective point, I have a feeling if I sat on them, took the objective point and sat on the defense, we might have lost that. All right, so we took down 1,600 of their 15,000 infantry, 250 of their 900 cavalry, got all 20 of their guns, total loss of 2,000 of their 16,000 men. We lost 1,487 of our 10,923 infantry, 92 of our 1,595 cavalry, 2 of our 15 guns, total loss of 1,597 of our 12,736 men. Numbers-wise, the rebels came out on top. They could soak up those casualties a bit more easily than we can, especially on the infantry side of things. But damn, was that a good fight. All right, after action reports. Blue Storm Brigade did 27 infantry, 152 to cavalry for a total of 180. Losses: 5 dead, 73 wounded, 42 missing, total 92. Aggregate strength 1,503, 6% casualties. Freedom Engineers did 252 to infantry, 59 to artillery for a total of 311. Losses: 50 dead, 270 wounded, 37 missing, 357 total. Aggregate strength 2,483, 13% casualties for that brigade. Liberty Legion Freedom Fighters did 558 to infantry, 44 to cavalry, 59 to artillery for a total of 669. First Suffrage did 222 to infantry, 15 to cavalry, total 238. Lincoln's Valkyries did 366 to infantry, 36 to cavalry, 141 to artillery for a total of 553. Losses: Freedom Fighters, 45 dead, 314 wounded, 45 missing, total 404. Aggregate strength 2,178, 16% casualties. First Suffrage Brigade, 73 dead, 330 wounded, 51 missing, total 454. Aggregate strength 2,210, 17% casualties. Lincoln's Valkyries, 47 dead, 191 wounded, 34 missing, total 272. Aggregate strength 2,565, 10% casualties. 1,130 for the division, 13% casualties all told. Molly Pitchers did 132 to infantry, 14 to cavalry, nothing to artillery, really. Total of 148. Losses: 6 dead, 11 wounded, 1 missing, 18 losses, 8% for the battery. And actually, did we get any of their officers? I didn't even check that the last battle. I don't think we did. We didn't lose anybody this time. Oh, we wounded Johnson. Edward Johnson's wounded, the army commander. Wounded Captain McIntosh, PD Light Artillery. Wounded Rhodes of the Washington Artillery. And Lieutenant Colonel Jones. Also, Colonel Green of the 2nd Missouri State Guard. And that's it. And he's just listed twice because part of the detachment. And McNeil of the Palmetto Battalion, which was those sharpshooters going after my artillery. So we got 5 of their officers in this fight. Not too shabby. This fight went down a lot better than I expected it to, because this fight could have gone either way. Straight to the end, this fight could have gone either way. If one of these brigades had broken, it would have been us retreating. Because these are the only 2 unbroken units outside the artillery that was still on the field. If any of them, these 3 had broken, that would have been it for us. So, pretty close run, but a good victory for us. I'll see you all on the newspaper screen. The victory at Rolla. Army of Illinois fleeing in panic. General Sweeney lost face, and so did Zollicoffer. So Sweeney is one of ours. Don't understand why he lost face. Nobody did anything. Like, I left Taylor in command of the cavalry, even though he lost face, because he did nothing wrong as far as I was concerned. And I don't think Sweeney, none of the officers I saw did anything wrong. So I'm not going to be pulling them from command. All right, Battle Rolla is ended. The Army of Illinois retreating in panic. He has reported suffered total casualties of 2,028 men. There are 317 killed and 869 captured. Our casualties total 1,597 men, with 226 killed, 182 missing, and the rest are wounded. We've captured 929 rifles and 5 guns from the field and sent 890 soldiers off to our vacation camps. Not too shabby, though. I think we're going to be, we are down in the red after that combat. Oh, and they burnt down the supply depot. I was hoping to capture the supply depot here. Looks like we're going to have to fall back on St. Louis. That's not good. Even though we won the battle, we were going to have to go back to St. Louis. I'll get reformed in there because we can't stay out here. We're under 12,000 men now, so we do have to go back to St. Louis. That's kind of ending our push. So I was really hoping to secure the supply depot at Rolla and then push down to this crossroads here up north of Carrollton. I really wanted to push these guys out of the state and come sit up here and support the cavalry while they took down the fort of Muskogee. That is out of the question now. I'm looking here. Still don't have this Court Harrodsburg sided. They're in the area, though, because that's red. And Louisville should control this node, so they are still in the area. Are we looking? Still not into the green. More days on that. It is only July 28th, so all right, it's July 28th. I'm going to see if I can push this game forward 2 more days. I'm going to open the next episode with the monthlies. All right, it's now July 29th. I will be ending the episode here. So it looks like the Army of the Kanawha is going to be making another push at Washington. And we have another major engagement coming up down here at Harrodsburg in Kentucky, which is the other corps from the Army of Illinois over here, with 30,000 men. Basically, 30,000 men and 30 guns to our almost 30,000 men and 31 guns, almost directly even on fight coming up at Harrodsburg. And over here, it looks like Holmes has taken over command of this corps, so it looks like Longstreet has been promoted to command of the Army of the Illinois, which might be a bad thing for me. And the Independent Cavalry Corps is almost down at Tahlequah. where they will build a supply depot before taking on the fort here, because they're not going to have the supplies to take that fort down on their own. So, yeah, we're going to end this one here. So once again, if you're a new viewer, returning viewer, not yet subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. If you do, remember that bell icon so the next video comes out. If you follow along in the series and enjoying it, don't forget to bayonet that like button and butt stroke that comment section. And I'll see you all at the next episode. Stay grumpy.